Right, then welcome back once again to P3 Odisha Cricnewzz, and as promised we have been telling you that we will be again and again coming in front of you with something or the other, and today we are with the review of the end of the day's play between India and Australia, the test match that is going on, the all-important test match to which we did a preview yesterday. We are back for the review of day one, and alongside me is again Babasish. A very good evening, Babasish, and welcome back to Odisha Cricnewzz.
Good evening, and big news straight away. Virat Kohli is about to undergo scans, and it's not. We are unsure that he'll be able to continue in the third Test match or not. There's a lot of confusion in the media stream regarding that. But if Kohli misses out, then that is a huge blow.
Absolutely, and there's no confusion about one thing, and that is that I should never try my hand at the casino, because I did put my money on Virat Kohli yesterday, and he is ruled out of the test match and probably the next match as well. But that's what the rumor is. Now, we do not exactly know what is going on with Virat Kohli's shoulder. There definitely is a grave injury, but whether it is bad enough to keep him out of the remainder of the series or not, we don't know.
Just to confirm that it was Sridhar who made the statement that he'll go for scans, and they'll only have the confirmation tomorrow morning. So we'll go with the same Cricnewzz word, because that's what we consider.
Yeah, that's the news on Cricnewzz, and we do follow Cricnewzz to be sure about what we want.
If you shouldn't try your hand in casino, I should definitely. I mean, in fact, we both picked Steve Smith as our power player from Australia, and what a knock.
Yeah, coming to think of it, I did even talk about Glenn Maxwell. We'll come to him later. But yeah, Steve Smith, Glenn Maxwell, we'll talk about their partnership as well. Let's start with David Warner. Disappointing series for him so far.
Yes, I mean, today he looked like getting settled. 19 of 26 balls, he was almost there. But then the only person who can get a wicket from full toss is Sir Jadeja. Came into ball, full toss, Warner was desperate for runs, sliced it straight to him, and he was a goner. I think he missed out. This was a good batting track. Warner should have made amends for the runs that he hasn't scored in the series, but he didn't. And
other end of the spectrum is Matt Renshaw, who is continuing with his fine form, and really did a good job today as well.
Yes, and just interestingly, Matt Renshaw has just broken a 119-year-old Australian batting record. Now he is now the fastest 21-year-old to have scored 500 runs. The previous best was by Clem Hill, who just scored 482 runs.
And to give you a context of the record here, I'd like to mention that the Sachin Tendulkar, at the age of 21, had amassed 2,023 runs with 700s.
That's just Tendulkar. He eats, sleeps, runs. But moving on to someone who accumulated run was Steve Smith. Went on to score his 19th international 100, 6th against India, and the second in series. He's been going with tremendous form, hasn't he?
He somehow likes India a lot. Whenever Indians are the opposition, he ensures that he gets runs. In fact, last game was the first, just the second game in which he didn't get a 50-plus score. Yeah. Otherwise, in every other game he has played against India, he's got at least 150-plus score.
I believe he had 4 consecutive hundreds or something similar to that. Now, Nishant, what was interesting today? Now, Steve Smith's scoring zone is on side. Now, if we look about all the bowlers we had today, it was Ishant Sharma, Umesh Yadav, both primarily looking to bowl the reverse in-swing into the right-hander. Then there was Ravichandran Ashwin, who's off-spinner, again turning it into Steve Smith. And Ravindra Jadeja, who with the lack of spin, was again darting it into the pads. So all the bowlers were preferably playing in the hands of Steve Smith. And that allowed him to just knock them around for singles, doubles, and when he just got a bad ball, he's not going to leave it. Just put it away.
Absolutely not, and he made sure that he enjoyed the bowling. He milked the bowling quite a bit, started with a lot of singles, and then once he settled in, he started taking Jadeja on and used his feet very well against him.
And that's how you play spin. Either you go real forward or real back. There was no half measures in his footwork. But someone who has missed out in this tour has been Sean Marsh. again came out to bat, and Ravi Ashwin has his number. Left-hander to Ravi Ashwin. He's turning out to be a grain swan again. Any left-hander comes in, he just gets their number.
Can't believe it's the same Sean Marsh who was the orange cap winner in the first edition of the IPL. And he's struggling so much after that. He's someone who's just not been able to kick off from what he promised in the IPL.
I believe, I thought this tour will be that sort of a tour that changes Sean Marsh's perception as a batsman. He still has a good enough record in Asia though, but hasn't quite made big scores in this test series. But interesting in Sean Marsh's dismissal, I was just discussing this before we went on live, Cheteshwar Pujara picked up a terrific catch at back pad, and it was Virat Kohli's decision to bring the back pad a lot squarer. I mean, generally on day one, you might see the bat pad a lot straighter, but because he knows there is a lack of turn in this pitch, and Ashwin getting that with the angle, it was a lot squarer. As a result, Pujara lunging towards his left picked up that catch, and I think these small things make a difference.
They do make a great difference, and that difference we did see when the reins were taken over by Ajinkya Rahane. And we didn't really see much of proactiveness from him in terms of field placements and trying to make things happen.
I believe he just let the game drift away. I mean, with Kohli, you always see that he's doing something or the other. There's a feeling that he wants to take the game on, basically, to the opposition. With Rahane, he was a little more laid back. I saw a little bit of Dhoni in Rahane. I'm just letting the bowler do their job. I mean, there was a bit of Dhoni there, and which I'm not used to in the past a year or so, when you've seen Kohli and the brand of captaincy he does. But moving on, Hanscom missed out as well. He was batting well until that big booming in swinger from Umesh Yadav struck him on the front toe, and he was plumped. It was hitting middle. They didn't even think about the referral, and he was gone. But
yeah, I'd like to say one thing here, Babasish, Umesh Yadav, that's one thing with him. Umesh Yadav always seemed, right from that season in which he turned up for Delhi in the IPL, and I saw him for the first time, I was like, this guy should play for India. He did play for India. Now the beauty of Umesh Yadav is that, he could be going for a lot of runs and he could be bowling a very bad spell, and he's got this knack of producing a wicket-taking delivery out of nowhere.
Exactly, and a lot of on-air commentators also say that because of this low slingy action, reverse swing becomes even more potent, even more threat, because the batsman gets even less time to react with the action, slinging sort of action. But someone who had no problems was Glenn Maxwell, the comeback kid, as Nishant Majithia predicted yesterday in the preview, that anyone who replaces Mitchell Marsh is going to play his part, and he did. 82 not out of 147 ball.
I think people like Glenn Maxwell, especially when he's coming at number 6, it's test match cricket is evolving, and people of the brand of Glenn Maxwell are needed in that middle order spot, and the teams want somebody who can score the runs quickly there. And he's 82 of 147. If he gets his eye in, bats maybe till about an hour or so tomorrow, you never know, he could be catching up could be closing that bridge.
Yes, he has. And in fact, Glenn Maxwell, it was a very non-Maxwell-like start to begin with. He scored just 19 of his first 50 balls, and once he was set, he just showed the world why he's such a fluent batsman. And one of the shots that I was just discussing with you was a 1-6. It was just an extension of his lofted straight drive to Ravindra Jadeja. And the best part about Glenn Maxwell, what I loved about it's his comeback knock. Having said that, he took all that pressure in his stride. He just emulated his skipper, who was at the other end, who knew that this is not a wicket where he can come out and play strokes freely, took his time, took those singles, and once he was set, happy times. They both stitched a tremendous partnership. In fact, that 159-run partnership now becomes the highest partnership of the series. The previous best was Pujara and Rahane, who got about 118. But having said that, I think this is the partnership that has probably pushed India in back foot in this test match so far.
Absolutely. When Glenn Maxwell plays 100 deliveries for the first time ever in his international career, you know that there is something going on in his mind, and he's really wanting to do something well. Now, talking about the Indian bowling, Babashish, these days it's not something that we usually say that the Indian bowling was a little on the disappointing side, because the Indian bowling is coming up well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, today was one of those days when I think perhaps they didn't really do a great job.
I think yes. I mean, this was a good strip. I think this strip has played its best today. I don't think it's gonna get any better. It will get worse. Having said that, I think Indian bowlers bowled a little too straight to Matt Renshaw to begin with, and Steve Smith with, I mean, how he loves to glance the deliveries. And also, having said that, Glenn Maxwell, we all know that he has a problem with short ball. Now, I don't think Indians tried too many of them. They tried about 3 of them, and in all 3 of them, he looked at discomfort. So I think India should have gone on to do that, but I think we've been picky. I think they just had a probably average day, and it was a good service, and credit to Smith and Maxwell. They made the most of the good batting surface, and it's as a result they are now 299 for 4.
Chanceless knocks both, so
Both
that really goes on to show that it has been a good batting performance by the Australian batsman. And moving on, I think the one big thing that everybody is anticipating, waiting for when it comes to day 2 is what news of Virat Kohli. A lot of prayers going on in a lot of Indian households, so that's going to be big.
True, and just in case Virat Kohli doesn't come in, whom do you see being promoted to that order? Do you think they'll go with the normal order with just one man being shuffled out? I mean, Rahane comes up, or we will see any kind of a shuffle there?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get these crazy and weird ideas, like I was talking about Swepson the other day. I wouldn't mind to see Rahane going 1 up, and then maybe Ravi Jadeja batting at 4.
Yes, I mean, they did try that, and what happens though is Australia are looking to post a huge total. India will have to come back tomorrow and pick some wickets with the new ball that have just taken, probably with the morning session. You never know, a couple of wickets here and there, and they will try and fight back in this test match. So, but at the moment, it's advantage Australia.
Absolutely, 299 for 4, and going by what Stephen Smith said at the post-match conference, in fact, a post-match interaction with the television commentators, he said that he would be happy if he manages to bat till about this time tomorrow. That means he wants to bat till stumps tomorrow.
That just shows his love. That just shows his grit just to hold that one end and keep batting. And Australia will now want to bat India out of this test match. Eventually, I mean, once they've won the toss and elected to bat first, they would want to put bat India out of this test match so that they don't have to bat, second maybe.
So that's about it. The Indians will have to ensure that they do not lose this test match, and Australia will take any result, but they will want to win. So that's about it for now. We'll again be back tomorrow with a little bit of action from day 2 of the test match. So thanks a lot, Babasish, for joining again.
Pleasure.
We'll have a lot more of you in the forthcoming days, and we'll have a lot more of you guys as well in the forthcoming days. Do like the page P3 Odisha Cricnewzz. Do like this video as well. Put in your comments. Do tell us what do you want to know about. Do tell us how do you like the way we bring you things. And we'll again see you tomorrow. Till then, it's goodbye from Nishant. Do take good care. Sleep well.